Hello, I'm Chris Atkinson, Rocker-funded PhD researcher. Can't even say it. PhD researcher at the University of Sheffield's Archaeology Department, and my research is looking into the charcoal industries of West and South Yorkshire, a subject that's always kind of been an interest of mine. Having investigated production sites in woodlands across Herefordshire and the South Pennines in recent years. Basically, the charcoal industry, it's very ancient. Without it, you wouldn't necessarily have had the Iron Age when it was. It's a form of fuel that can burn to high temperatures, ideal for extracting iron from ore. And of course was extremely important into the Industrial Revolution and steel production, as well as the textile industries for wool combing or even crafts and home domestic cooking. So it's been an essential fuel for a long time. And what I'm wanting to do as part of my research is to look at the charcoal production sites themselves. They're terrible to photograph or even film, but believe me that there behind me is in fact a charcoal platform. I'm currently in a place called Shipley Glen near Bradford, and you can see the hill kind of coming down behind me, and then I hope you can see that just behind me around this area it's levelling out onto what is a roughly circular or oval platform. Some of these platforms actually have dry stone walls or quite ornate walls on the downward slope to keep them in place, whereas this one is making use of natural boulders on the hillside to kind of keep that platform there. Why are they oval? Why are they circular? Well, because the method of producing charcoal was to create a stack, or almost like an igloo, of timber around a central wood chimney, down which they would drop their embers so the fire would catch, and they would then bury that igloo on this mound in soil, bracken, turf, whatever they could to reduce the amount of oxygen that was getting to that fire. So over a process of 2, possibly 3, 4 days, depending on the size of these charcoal stacks, then they wood burners would monitor it to create charcoal, and that charcoal would then be loaded up onto pack horses and taken to the nearby mills or forges or centres of industry where it could be put to good use. So the primary aim is, identify as many of these, look at the distribution of these features across West and South Yorkshire, looking at the different types of forms. Some of them have, as I mentioned, dry stone walls keeping them in place and quite substantial structures, whereas others are more subtle and just kind of cut into the hillside. For a series of kind of excavations, I'm going to look at 6 locations across the region, excavating 6 platforms with the intention of extracting charcoal, like that sort of stuff there. The purpose being that we can look at that charcoal and analyse what tree species it once belonged to. So not only does that give us an idea of what trees they were wanting to create charcoal, but it also gives us an indication of what the woodland tree canopy actually looked like at any given date. Of course, with the charcoal too, we can use that for radiocarbon dating, which will be undertaken, so I can build up hopefully some form of chronology of charcoal industry in the region. As well as that, I'm going to assess whether pollen survives upon these platforms, and analysing the pollen again will give us an idea of not only the tree cover but also any kind of ground flora that was growing in the area too. So the intention is to kind of celebrate and shout out loud and fly flags for charcoal burning platforms across the region and nation, in fact, because I love them. And as a kind of side, I wonder whether we could use these platforms and the environmental evidence we can get from them to indicate, well, as part, I can't get my words right for this bit. Can't thinking. But basically, as part of the our kind of international fight against climate change, whether we can use charcoal platforms as an indicator, so that where organisations such as the Woodland Trust, the Forestry Commission, National Trust, whoever they may be, are carrying out woodland plantation schemes, that perhaps charcoal platform can be an indicator of making sure that you plant the right trees in the right place. Anyway, that's me in a quick whistle-stop tour through my PhD. I'm only 6 months in, so I've got a long way to go yet. Anyway, take care, bye.